Hi, welcome to 90% Knitting and to a special extra episode, which is going to be a shop news and shop update preview episode for the shop update that will be in my shop on Wednesday, February 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern. I am Lisa, also known as Fibernymph on Ravelry and Instagram, and I am the dyer behind Fibernymph Dye Works yarns. So welcome. Thank you for checking this out. And again, if you're a new viewer and you've not watched one of my other podcasts yet, this is probably not the best episode for you to start with because, like I said, this is only going to be a shop news episode. It's not going to have any knitting content to it. I would recommend going back and watching the last one, like episode 231 or 230, or one of the more recent episodes. And I will put out a regular episode either later this week or very early next week, like either probably Thursday, Friday, or Monday. That would be my guess as to when my next regular update will be, or my regular episode will be. But as far as my shop update, I didn't know when it was going to be when I recorded last week, and I didn't have enough things ready to even show you, so that's why I said I would just do a special little extra episode to show you what's going to be in the shop. So that's what I'm going to do. But first, let me just share with you, if you pre-ordered Snow Day or Cold Snap, most of those orders have gone out into the mail already, and the last of them will be going out tomorrow. So be watching for those in your mailbox if that applies to you. And also, if you are in my Pie of the Every Other Month Club, your February shipment will go out by the end of this month, by the 28th. Ordinarily, I would say it would go out by the end of the last full week of February. That is the 25th this month. February being a short month, though, I'm going to give myself the latitude of those last 3 days of the month, just because I have a show that I'm vending on the 25th, and I'm doing a whole lot of prep stuff for that as well. I do have the Pie Day yarn for February well underway, so it's not like I'm not working on it. I just want to give myself that little cushion of those 3 extra days in case I need them. So I'm going to beg your patience if that ends up being the case. But just know that it will be going out to you, and you will have it quite soon after the end of the month, because it will be posted no later than the 28th. Okay, that's all of that kind of administrative stuff. So let's talk about the shop update. Again, Wednesday the 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Yarn. I've got a lot of winter colorways, some seasonal colorways, and then just some extras and sock blanks. I've got a bunch of sock blanks which were really fun this week. I'll talk a little bit more about why I found those extra fun this time when I get to those. But let's do the self-striping stuff first. So I have some Snow Day going in the shop this week. So there will be some Snow Day on Bounce and in Bedazzled. And again, if you aren't familiar with this colorway, this is a 2-stripe colorway that knits up with 1 stripe white and 1 stripe speckled with all these blues and a little bit of pink pops. Let's see there. You see the pink pops for your rosy cheeks that you get whenever you're out playing in the snow. So there will be, in the listing, there's a picture of a sample knit up. I don't know why I didn't think to grab that. I'm sorry. But anyway, so there will be some Snow Day on both of those bounces. There will also be some Cold Snap. Where's the other one? Here it is. On Bounce and Bedazzled this week. So this is my other winter colorway, which is a 4-stripe colorway in these fun wintry colors. And then I also have some Mountain House Winter, which is my 6-stripe colorway that was inspired by the Mountain House where I live part-time. So I split my time between my house and my husband's house, which we refer to as the Mountain House. So I've got some, there will be a skein up in Bounce, and there will be a couple skeins in Bedazzled, and then there will also be one in Cozy, which is my worsted weight base. So there will be those this week. Okay, in addition, let's move on to seasonal now. I will not have any more of the Valentine's colorways, only because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so whatever's left in the shop for those, that's it, until next year. But we've got St. Patrick's Day coming up. Now, I know St. Patrick's Day is not a huge holiday for everyone. Everyone maybe doesn't want to knit St. Patrick's Day socks the way they like to knit Halloween socks or Valentine's Day socks or Christmas socks or whatever, but I think it's a fun holiday because I like green, and so I decided to do up some of these. Now, one is one that I did last year, and this is my Ardmore colorway. You may remember this. I did a collaboration with Ashley from Neely's Knits, and we each did up a colorway that was Ireland inspired, and we did it in March, so it was meant to have a tie-in with St. Patrick's Day. This is not a traditional St. Patrick's Day colorway in the way some of my other ones have been, but I like it. This was inspired by a trip I did take to Ireland several years ago, and we went to the town of Ardmore, which is on the southern coast of Ireland. The Celtic Sea is there, and it's just such a beautiful area. It was one of my favorite places that we had stopped. So whenever you look at the listing for Ardmore, you'll see the inspiration picture from that trip that I used in dyeing this yarn. So I hope you like this. This is on my Squish 2.0 base, which is the Corriedale base, Corriedale and nylon. Again, there's only 2 skeins of it this time, but if it sells, I'll add more for the next update. Now, the other one I have is my Leprechaun Socks colorway, which is what I created Leprechaun Socks. Oh my gosh. Probably one of my first years dyeing, I did Leprechaun Socks. I would say, yeah, it's been around a while. If I have any in my show stock, I think I might. I'll pull it out and I'll add it to the shop, just in case you've never seen it before, because that's the fun thing. Once I've got colorways that I feel like, oh my gosh, those are so old, they've been around forever. But if you're new to my shop, you may never have seen them. So that makes it kind of fun. You can kind of recycle some colorways, and for some people, they'll be new, because I only do it around St. Patrick's Day. So, okay, but the new one for this year is kind of going along the theme of sweetness and snow day, and it's going to be another one that has the white stripe and the speckled stripe, and I'm calling this Go Green or Go Home. So your speckled stripe for this one will have 5 different greens in it. There will be a very dark green, there's a bright Kelly green, and then there's a darker bright green. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but trust me on that. There's some chartreuse, and then there's the toxic green that I have, the really bright radioactive looking color. So that will be a lot of fun if you like stripies. I will have a sample of this knit up just like I have for Sweetness and Snow Day, that will be included in the listing. I have not had a chance to knit it yet. That's why I can't show it to you, but you'll see it in the listing, so you'll be able to see what it looks like when it knits up. So there will be a couple skeins on Bounce, a couple on Bedazzled for that. And again, if they sell, if you guys really like it, then I will make sure I add more for the next shop update. Okay, I believe that is everything that is specifically seasonal in self-striping yarn. I do have one set, well, there will be 2 skeins of it that is a one-off, we'll say a one-of-a-kind colorway. I was trying out a new colorway. It's a 6-striper. It did not end up quite the way I was hoping it would, so I won't be dyeing it again. But the 2 skeins that I did dye, I'm going to put in the shop this week. It does not have a name because it's not going to be repeated, but this is what it is. And it's interesting because I did not set out for this to happen, but it looks very, very much like Cold Snap, only it's 6 colors, and it does not, or 6 stripes instead of 4, and it doesn't have that dark blue in it. But it's got some other colors that are not in Cold Snap. It's got that sandy taupe color. It's got a deep plum color. It's got another blue in it. Yeah, I mean, I like it, but it's just too close to this colorway for me to do this again. So sometimes new colorways just don't work out the way you want them to. But it's going in the shop, so if you like it, grab it now, because there's only going to be 2 of them ever. Okay, the other 2 self-stripers that I've got for you this week are not at all seasonal or winter related. They're just ones that I wanted to dye because I haven't done them in a while, and they're both 5-stripe colorways. This one is my Bahamian colorway. This was actually one of the very first 5-stripe colorways I ever did a long time ago, but it has remained a favorite among people. Every time I put it in the shop, it kind of gets scooped up. So 5 colors, very tropical blues and greens. The lighting on the podcast here is kind of blowing it out, but I'll put it back here. Maybe that's a little bit better. Anyway, the picture in the listing will be much truer color-wise, but it's a lot of fun. I love this colorway. Matter of fact, I have a skein of it up in my personal stash that I've had set aside for ages to knit myself a pair of socks, and I haven't yet, but I will because I really like that colorway. The other 5-stripe colorway I did is this one, which is definitely a newer one. It's called Awakening, and it was inspired by the Star Wars movie The Force Awakens from last year. If you look at the listing, you will be able to see what all the 5 different colors represent from the movie. But yeah, if you're into Star Wars, this is a good colorway for you. I finally got to go see Rogue One last week. Finally. I loved the movie. It was very good. And from that movie, I have 2 colorways that I really, really want to dye up. I need time to really think through the colors that I'm going to put in them. So but they'll be coming. So if you are a Star Wars person and you like those kind of colorways, stay tuned because I've got 2 coming that were inspired by that movie. I'll put more of this in the shop. And I have another 2 Star Wars colorways that I have been dying, no pun intended, dying to dye for ages, that I know what I'm going to do. I just have not had a chance because of other stuff going on and other things I needed to put in the shop. But I may just do an update where I have a whole lot of Star Wars colors. So if Star Wars is your jam, be on the lookout for that because that will happen here sometime soon. I've got a whole bunch of colorways that I want to do. That's the thing. It's hard to not want to dye new colorways. I get so many ideas for new colorways, but you can only do so many at a time because it's overwhelming. It's probably overwhelming for you guys too, but maybe in a good way. I don't know. All right. That's all the self-striping. I do have sock blanks to show you. A couple of them are speckled. If you remember, if you've followed the shop now for a while, if you remember when I first started doing sock blanks, they were all one-of-a-kind colorways. I wasn't able really to repeat them. I've since kind of started doing them in ways that they are a little more repeatable. They're all going to be individual, though. No 2 are ever going to be exactly like. But ones that I've done lately and always seem to be quite popular in the shop are the speckled sock blanks, the ones that are just completely all speckles. And so I did some of those this week. And this one is a cold snap speckled sock blank. So it's the same colors as in cold snap. I keep wanting to say snow day. It's not snow day. It's cold snap, but in speckled sock blank form. So a same progression as well. So you've got the blue, electric purple, aqua shock, and then there is a white stripe, but I made the white segment a little bit more narrow just so you didn't have a big chunk of white in your sock blank, and I tried to make sure that there was some overlapping specklage there so that you don't have a completely boring area of your sock blank. So there's 2 of those, one on a non-sparkle blank and one on a sparkly blank. And then the other one I did with all speckles was, this is my Bam Zap Pow colorway, which I've not had in the shop real recently. Maybe I'll dye that one up sometime soon. It was a comic book inspired colorway. You know how they have Bam Zap Pow. Yeah, that's that. But it's these 3 colors. It is lime and fuchsia and black. So the black interrupts the other 2 colors. This one is pretty much a mirrored sock blank. So it works the same either direction, so you can get really matchy-er socks that way. Again, they're sock blanks. They're not scientifically like accurate, identical, but they're similar. So again, there will be one on non-sparkle and one on sparkle. And then I did 2 other colorways also, 2 other colorway iterations on sock blanks. I did Bahamian. And but these 2 are done with a resist dye. That's where part of the blank is tied off so that you do not get dye in those areas and you just see the undyed sock blank. similar to a tie-dye kind of effect, but it's not that. So this one is in the Bahamian colorway. So same dye colors as Bahamian. Let's put it that way. That might be a better way. See? Oh, I love it. I love how that looks. Anyway, all the same colors and some speckles. I added some coordinating speckles on this one. So again, one on non-sparkle and one on sparkle. I know, sparkle doesn't show. I don't know why I do that. And then the other one is the Mountain House Winter colorway. This one was a little bit harder to create in a sock blank just because there's 6 different dyes and they are all different and they want to come together and form their own colors. I mean, I like how it turned out. And if you look at it next to that, you can see all the colors. They're definitely all there and represented, but it's definitely a different look than the self-striping. So, and I just love that, what the resist does to these blanks. This is the sparkle one. And then this is the non-sparkle one. But I love the effects that you get from resist dyeing. I think it's one of my favorite techniques. This and speckling are my favorite techniques to do with sock blanks. I just love them so much. The hand painting is fun, but that's very, very, very time consuming. So that's why I don't do that a whole lot. But these two techniques are so much fun and you can just get such interesting effects with them. Anyway, in addition to everything I just showed you, I'm probably going to be restocking a lot of my semi-solids in this update. So be looking for that. In both Bounce and in Cozy, so fingering weight and worsted weight. I have not restocked my semi-solids in a while. Matter of fact, see this little bin right here? That's usually full of shop semi-solids, and it's been quite empty for a while, so we'll take care of that. Let's see, anything else? I think that's everything. Again, the update will be on Wednesday, the 15th at 6 p.m. I'm trying to keep my time consistent since my day varies. And let me just take a second to explain that. I'm sorry, I need to take a drink. I've got a tickly throat thing going on. It's right now, the way my life is, I'm sorry if you're getting so tired of hearing me talk about this. I'm getting tired of hearing me talk about it. But like I said, excuse me. Like I said, I am commuting back and forth between my home and then my husband's home, about an hour away. We're kind of splitting our time in the week, you know, a couple nights here, most of the nights up there. But I have to drive back and forth almost every day just because I still have to work here. I can't dye up at the Mountain House yet until we have the studio built up there. So my schedule is just very different than it used to be, which is making my ability to schedule updates at different times of the day more difficult. I used to try to vary the time, you know, morning times, afternoon times, evening times, but I'm never quite sure where I'm going to be when a lot of the time. So what I've found is it's safest for me to plan to do my updates in the evenings. During the week, if they're a weekday update. So when I do them on Fridays or Wednesdays, they'll probably be at 6 p.m. Eastern. I will do a weekend update occasionally, usually Saturday, sometimes a Sunday. And those I do try to do in the morning, like 10 a.m., anywhere between 10 a.m. and noon. I'm trying to have some consistency, but quite honestly, the fact that I can't manage that is very representative of my life right now. There's just not a lot of consistency in a lot of things. So I do apologize that you aren't able to, you know, count on my updates being at a specific day and a specific time all the time like I used to be able to do. Hopefully I will get back to that eventually. But for right now in this season of my life, it's just going to be a little bit different. As always, though, I will post at the top of the shop page when the next update's going to be. As soon as I have it scheduled, I put it up there. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm done recording this, I will be posting that for this update. And and on the Facebook page, the Fibernymph Dye Works Facebook page. Those are the two places you can always find it. I do have a Fibernymph Dye Works group on Ravelry as well. I try to remember to put the update date and time in there as well, but sometimes I forget, and I do apologize for that. But I will try to make sure it's in those three places. So, okay, that is everything I've got for you this weekend, or this week. This weekend. It's Monday. Goodness. Anyway, have a great week, and I will talk to you with a regular episode either later this week or early next week. So take care. See you later.